Not working. Right, let me mute there. Mute there. Right, I've got it now. Got it now. And now let me just check I'm on screen. Right, so let's get our feet rolled out. Noticing how our feet feel as we're rolling them. Standing tall through our posture. And observing today how much effort is there involved in holding your posture. Are you tight in particular places? Does it feel like you're having to really pull things into place to get your posture to be, what are the words that are not coming out? Oh goodness. Is there a lot of effort for holding your posture? Is the thing that I'm seeing there? Good morning, Jeanette.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Not too bad, thank you.
Good. I'll just pop you on mute. Oops. So while you're rolling out your feet, I do want you to notice the balancing leg and check that you're not hanging out in that hip. We're not over here or up here. And get the muscles around that joint working. Let me just, I've got to change the screen back. How is your breathing this morning? Are you holding your breath? If you are, let it go. And try and bring your breath back into a nice steady rhythm. If you are happy you have rolled out your feet enough, we're going to take the ball up into our hands. Always stay here for longer if that's what your body's telling you that it needs. When you come up to your hands, I want you to consciously roll the shoulders back and down and then start to roll them out, just so that the shoulders don't creep up to the ears. And bringing your feet maybe about hip width apart. Find the tripod points on the soles of the feet so we've got this nice strong base. And noticing how our hands feel as we're rolling them. Ooh. Drop my ball. And then passing the ball from one hand to the other, giving a squeeze. And check in again with your breath. And then we're going to take the ball into one hand, anchor the elbow into the waist, take your hand onto your forearm, and just gently stretch the skin round in one direction, and then circle at the wrist, a few circles each way. And then you're going to stretch that skin of the forearm in the opposite direction, and a few circles each way. And then do the same thing on the other side. Anchor, stretch, circle, and stretch the other way, and a few circles in each direction. And then pop the ball down. From there, coming into our limb flush, so coming up to that left collarbone. Clearing the drain, which is why we always start here. So moving the tissue around and then tapping on to create a bit of vibration, and then going over to the other side. Same thing, moving the tissue. Big deep breaths in and out, creating that vibration. Then coming to the neck, so where the jaw meets the skull. Breath in to start with to notice if there's any tension. And if there is, massage in there first. If your jaw is tight, if you sleep funny, if you've got tension in the neck, this area is likely to be tight. And then pulling the skin of the neck in a downwards direction to help and drain the fluids down the way. And then tapping on, getting that vibration. And then to the shoulder, around the head of the shoulder, into the crease, into your armpit, and into the side of your chest. And then do the same thing on the other side. So head of the shoulder, crease at the front, into the armpit, into the side of the chest. Tapping on. Then to the abdomen. So the upside down V of the rib cage, down into the pelvic bowl and everything in between. And always, as always, if you've just eaten, don't go too deeply here. If you haven't eaten in the last hour or so, then go as deep as you can. And then into the groin, hip bone to pubic bone, into this crease at the top of the legs. And then from here into the back of the knees. Then rolling yourself back up and then come into one shoulder. We're going to tap down the outside of the arm. So just rapid tapping all the way down to the fingertips, then the palm and the underside, up into the armpit, down to the hip. Same on the other sides. And then come down the front of the body. Right to the tips of the toes, come along the inside edge of the feet. Up the inner legs, right up into the groin. Down the outer legs. Up the back. Over your backside. Into the lower back, and then wherever you can reach in your back. And then let's bring the fingertips to the base of the neck. Lift your chin, but don't let the head drop off the back of the neck. Tapping up the sides of the neck. And under the chin. Coming along the line of the teeth. And just gently making your way up your base. And up over the skull. And then down the back of the neck. And to the shoulders. And then take a moment noticing how you feel after having done that. Any sensations in the body. Any sensations, I've already said that. What is the other word I'm looking for? Energy. How is your energy feeling after you've done that? Let's go into our fascial release. So coming into our twist. We're going to take our right foot over the left. So crossing over and get your feet in a position that you can anchor the tripod points and get those active arches. So if you're not being able to get that, you might need to just adjust the position of your feet. And everybody's going to be different depending what's going on in around your hip. Now, if you cross your leg over and straight away this outside hip starts to get sore, then maybe come onto the ball of the foot so that you're not pulling quite as tightly on this outer hip. Your right arm is coming over to the left armpit. Your left hand is coming over to the top of the shoulder. You're giving yourself a squeeze. So anchor the tripod points, engage the backside, draw the tummy muscles in, start to turn the body to the right and then turn the head to the left. So you're wringing your spine out. You're going to take your gaze as far round to the left as you can. You're going to take your tongue into the left cheek. And then breathe in and out through the nose. At the end of your next exhale, you're going to release the tongue, release the eyes, bring the head and the body through the centre. Still keeping your arms and legs crossed as they are. We're going to turn the body to the left, turn the head to the right. Look as far round to the right, take your tongue into the right cheek, find a tight spot, press the tongue in there, and then breathe in and out through the nose. At the end of the next exhale, bring the head and the body back to the centre. Uncross the arms, uncross the legs. Take a moment in the centre here, maybe just shifting the body around. And then we're going to switch that to the other side. So we're going to take the left foot over. Now, how far and where you place your feet when your legs are crossed this way might be different depending on what's going on in your hips here, depending on what's going on for your balance. So find the right placement for your feet before you add anything else in. Take your time coming into this. Then you want to take the left hand to the right armpit, the right hand to the left shoulder, giving yourself a squeeze. And turn your body to the right, turn your head to the left. Take your eyes as far round to the left. This time we're going to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And think about that exhaling breath being releasing, still engaging the backside, still keeping the tummy muscles engaged, but drop the shoulders down away from the ears. At the end of the next exhale, you're going to bring your head and torso to the centre. Start to turn the body to the left, turn the head to the right. And again, eyes as far round to the right, in through the nose, out through the mouth. At the end of the next exhale, gently bring that back to the centre and cross the arms and cross the legs. Take a moment in the centre just to give yourself a little release and wiggle off. And then bringing your feet back to about hip width. Anchor the tripod points. Stand tall through the spine. Pull the shoulders up, drop them back, and drop them down. Now, can we have the shoulders up, back, and down? Keep the ribs tucked in, keep the chin tucked in. We lift all the toes up. Then we spread the toes as wide as possible, and then let them anchor back down. Now, if you find your toes are not really spreading out, anchor the big toe and then pull the rest of the toes wide from there. Or if you've got a resistance band or a strap handy, you could hook that round the big toes and use that to help stretch out. And then we're going to bring all the toes up. And can we tap the big toe down and up by itself? And make sure that we're still breathing. And then can we hold all the toes up? And then can we go pinky toe down, toe next to it, toe next to it, toe next to it. So we've got 4 toes down, thumb toe up. And then can we tap that thumb toe down and up? And remember to breathe. And then let that come down, wiggle that out. We're going to lift onto the ball of your foot, circle around, a couple of circles one way, a couple of circles the other. Then can we stretch out the top of the foot, so tucking the toes under. The top of the foot feels really sensitive doing this on a softer surface, so maybe if you've got a pillow there, having the pillow under it, if the floor is quite hard underneath and your foot's sensitive, this can feel a bit painful. And then go for a couple of circles, and then in the other direction. And then the same thing on the other foot, so lift Press the ball of the foot into the floor and circle. And the other way. And then tuck the toes under, get that stretch into the top of the foot. And then go in for those circles. And the other way. And then bringing the feet back to about hip width apart. Check in with the rest of the posture. So from the ankle up through the knee, through the hip, through the shoulder to the ear. From here coming up onto the balls of the feet. So smooth and controlled. Bringing that up and then slow and controlled, bringing that back down. So with your breath, you might want to inhale at the floor, exhale as you're coming up, pause for your inhale at the top and exhale as you come back down. Now, if your feet are wobbling about a lot, a couple of things you can do. You can either put your hands onto the wall, take some support from there. If you've got a Pilates ball or a pillow, you could pop that in between the calf muscles to help activate the legs. That can help create a little bit more muscle activation if you feel unsteady. But imagine as you're coming up and floating back down that there's this line from the top of the head that's pulling you up and then it's slowly lowering you back down. Can we bring the arms into the movement? So arms just coming up to shoulder height. Now as you're lifting your arms up, these upper arms are drawn into the shoulder sockets. So the shoulder blades are squeezing towards each other. Imagine that you're lifting a big heavy ball and then pulling it back down as you're coming down. So that sort of imagination of bursting the balloon under the armpit as you're coming down to help get these muscles through the armpit, down the side of the ribs, all fired up. Lifting up and pulling back down. Now, if your balance is feeling okay today, the next time you come up, can we hold here? Open the arms out wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Bring it back in and then pull it down. So if you're going wide, imagine that this ball that you're holding onto is inflating. And then imagine that you're trying to push the air back out to help get these muscles across the chest activated as you're going through the movement. So we're up, we're squeezing out, squeeze those shoulder blades together, pressing in, pulling down. One more time if you can. We go up, we take it wide, we press it in, we pull it down, and release the shoulders at the bottom. If you've got a ball or pillow between the legs, you pop that off to the side for the moment. Now we're going to come to our pelvis. So bring your hands onto your hips, and you're going to lift this heel and then let the hip come up. So we're trying to shorten the distance between the hip bone and the lower ribs without tilting your body over. So keep the shoulders where they are. Come down, and then the other side. So the hip is hitching up, and we're bringing it down, up, and down, up, and down. Do that one more time each way, or each side even. And then we're going to come to the pelvis. No, we're staying at the pelvis even because we're already there. We're going to do our pelvic tilt. So we're going to squeeze the backside, tuck the tailbone under, and then using the backside, the pelvic floor, lower abdominal muscles, we're going to start to send the tailbone back. Let the pelvis tilt forward. Now try and not use the rib cage and spine to get this movement. We're trying to use the muscles in around the pelvis. So your movement might be really small. We're thinking about this action coming from the feet up. So think strong through those arches, strong through the legs to help activate. We're tucking the tailbone under and we're sending the tailbone back. Tucking the tailbone under. And if it helps, you could even bring your hands to the front of the ribs and the back of the ribs just to check that those parts are not shifting forward and back too much. There will be a tiny bit of movement there, but don't want too much. Squeezing the backside as you tuck that tailbone under, and then sending the pelvis back. And then bring the pelvis into a neutral position. Then we're going to do a hula hoop round. We're going to come forward, go out to the side, take it behind, go to the other side and bring it round. Again, try and not have the ribs doing all the movement. We want this to come lower body, so the movement might be tiny. Let it be tiny if it needs to be. We're trying to get all these muscles inside the pelvic bowl and around the pelvic bowl activated to take the pressure off the lower back for those of you that are struggling with lower back pain. If we haven't changed direction, change direction. I cannot remember if I said to change direction. And let that settle into the centre. Now from here, we're going to do stand and roll down. But when we're doing stand and roll down, I want us to think about nice and strong through the feet. So strong through those arches, strong through the legs, tall through the spine. We're going to drop the chin into chest. We're going to start to round the shoulders, send the breastbone back, keep the tummy muscles engaged. So keeping the tummy muscles engaged as we're tilting forward. Hands might be on the thighs if they need to be. You might have a slight bend in your knees if you need them. And just come down as far as feels comfortable for you. So if you start to feel a stretch across the mid-back, maybe this is where you stay. The mid-back feels nice and loose, then maybe you come a bit further into the movement. Can you check what's going on at your head? If you're holding tension in the neck, can we let the neck relax so that the top of the skull is pointing towards the floor? Can we just check in with the shoulders? Can we let them relax? We still draw in those tummy muscles so that we're protecting the lower back. We're letting the lower back muscles relax here because the wall of support is coming at the front. Take an inhale as you're exhaling, go strong through the feet, strong through the legs. Keep the tummy muscles drawn in as we're restacking the spine. Rolling up. Now we're going to take the arms up overhead, reach up towards the ceiling and look up. And then this time as we're coming forward, we're going to try and keep the spine long. Keep reaching with the arms. Keep the knees slightly bent if they need to be. Reaching with the arms, reaching with the arms, reaching with the arms. Coming into that forward fold, seeing how that feels. You don't have to come all the way to the floor if that doesn't feel right. Remember, your legs are there. You can always come onto the legs with your hands for support if needed. And then when we come back up, we're going to reach the arms forward, reach the arms forward. Just think about reaching, 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 strong through the feet, lifting all the way up. And then bring the arms down and give the shoulders a roll. Now we're going to come to either the wall or a chair. Somewhere that you can hinge forward from the hip, keep the spine long, keep the ribs tucked in, and then lean on something. It can be the edge of the sofa, it could be the back of a chair. If you're using a chair, make sure it's either quite heavy or the seat part of it's towards you so that you don't tip the chair over. And you're going to just step back so that you can feel length in your spine. Now, you don't need to have your chest parallel to the floor, particularly for those of you that have got lower back stuff going on. You might be up higher, but you still want to be drawn in through the waist. We want to be strong through the feet. Now, from here, we're going to start to take one leg back, pushing through the heel, almost like you're trying to reach the opposite side of your room with your heel, lifting the leg up, only as high as feels okay and that the pelvis doesn't start to twist out. We want the pelvis to stay level, the lower back to stay long. You're reaching towards the other side of the room. And then you're going to bring that leg back in. Now we're going to stay on the same side. And you're going to take that leg back. So reach with the heel, reach with the heel, reach with the heel. Your other knee can be slightly bent if it needs to be. Keep reaching with the heel, reaching with the heel. Try and reach the other side of your room. And then bring it back. It doesn't need to be really high. We're just looking for really long. We're going to do 2 more on this side. So check you're not holding your breath. Keep the breath nice and steady. Keep reaching through the heel, reaching through the heel, reaching through the heel. And then bring it back. And then one last time on this side. Reach through the heel, long, long, long with the leg, long with the leg. Reaching back as far as you can. And then gently bringing it back in. Place that foot down. You might want to walk in, come up. Give the hips a release. Wiggle the spine about. Just get some movement. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bring the hands back to their resting place. And shift into the other leg. So we're thinking pushing with the heel. Reach into the other side of the room. So the experience on this side might be totally different depending on what's going on this side of the body. Can you reach long? Can you reach long? Can you reach long? Long, 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 and then bring it back in. And then again, pushing with the heel. We're only doing 4 of these in total. But can you go as long as possible, reaching through that heel? And back in. And then reaching with the heel. And back in. And one last time. Reach with the heel, get the leg as long as you can to do the back of the body. And then bring it back in. Step it in, come off your lean, circle your wrists, give your shoulders a roll, move the hips around. Now I'm going to use my Pilates ball. You can use the ball you rolled your feet out with, you can use your remote control, you can use a pen, anything at all, just something that you can pass from one hand to the other to get some nice big circular movements going in. Get some twisting into the spine, get some movement into the shoulders. We're going to take our legs wide. Have your toes pointed out, about 10 to 2. But make sure that you can get this nice strong arch connection. We're not rolling onto the inside edge of the feet. We're not lifting the arch away, we're anchoring it down. We're going to reach the hand forwards, come up to the ceiling. Take it back, sit your hips back as you pass underneath. Go to the other side. Lift up, reach up to the ceiling. Circle back, sit the hips back as you pass underneath. So as you're sitting those hips back, ribs stay tucked in. You go along with the spine. So think about this length through the crown of the head. Send the tailbone one direction, the skull the other direction. Reach right up towards the ceiling. Reach as far behind as you can. And you might find that after you've done a few that your range of movement has hopefully improved. Things don't feel quite as sticky. And we're going to change the direction. So we're going to reach forward, pass under, come back and up and over the top. Pass under. Now I want you to have a wee check of your knees, that they've not started to drop in. So push the knees out the way. Anchor those tripod points. One more to each side. And then bring that in. Give the shoulders a shake, give the legs a shake. Now we're going to get ready to come down onto the floor. So if your neck is feeling particularly stiff or tight today, have a pillow to put your head on. Oops. If your lower back is particularly stiff today, you might want a wee pillow for underneath your tailbone. I'm just going to check. Am I on the screen? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You might need a pillow for the back of the head. You might want a pillow in at the back of the pelvis, just to lift the pelvis slightly off the floor. That can, for some people, that can feel really nice to take the pressure off your lower back, to have the pelvis slightly elevated and give a bit more space in that lower back. So pop that in if it feels nice. Then we want to check the rest of our posture. So at the back of the neck, we want the neck to be long. That's where the pillow can come in useful if your neck is tight and that you find that your chin's pointing up to the ceiling. So we want to drop the chin down. We want the chest open, shoulder blades dropping into the floor. Pelvis roughly in its neutral position. What's important is you don't feel any pressure or tension in at the lower back. Knees and feet about hip width apart. Tripod points anchored. As we get those active arches, do we feel the legs come alive? If they're not, you might just need to change your positioning. So let's have our arms out to the sides with the palms faced up. Just allow the chest and the front of the shoulders to be open here. I'm going to work on one side. So choose a leg, and this knee is going to drop out to the side. You're rolling onto the pinky toe side of your foot, and then you're going to bring the knee back up to its start position. Other foot is staying anchored into the floor. When this foot anchors, the rest of the body engages. Take the knee out to the side, we bring it back into centre. You take the knee out to the side, we bring it back to centre. We're going to take the knee out to the side, and this time we're going to slide on the pinky toe edge of the foot until the leg is long. So take the foot down towards the end of your mat, and then you're going to turn your toes so the toes are pointing towards the ceiling, and you can press out through the heel. So lengthen that leg out, and then you're going to drag that leg all the way back in. So let's take the knee out to the side, slide the leg along, press out through the sole of the foot, and drag it back in. Knee goes out. So remember, this other foot staying anchored into the floor. That's going to help with muscle engagement. Pressing the sole of the foot out, we're sliding that leg all the way back in. Let's take it out. Let's slide it long. Press out through the sole of the foot. This time, we're going to keep the leg long, point the toe, so you're getting this stretch through the front of the foot. Then we're going to lift this long leg up to point the toe to the ceiling. You're going to flex your ankle at the top, so pull the toes back, and then you're going to lower that long leg back down to the floor and pull it all the way back in. Knee goes out to the side. We slide the leg long, press out through the sole of the foot, point through the toe, lift the leg up, flex at the ankle, lower the leg down, pull it all the way back in. We're going to do that one last time. Knee goes out, slide it long, press through the sole of the foot, point through the toe, lift the leg, flex the ankle, lower the leg, pull the leg back in. Now let's work to the other side. That leg that was just working is going to be anchored to the floor. And then we're going to start knee moving out to the side and coming back in. And knee going out to the side and coming in. And out to the side onto that pinky toe. And then back in and out and back in. We're going to go out and slide the leg long. Press the heel out. and then pull the leg back in. Knee going out, slide the leg long, press through the heel, pull the leg back in. Knee out, long, press the heel, pull it back in. Knee going out, we're going to add the leg lift in, so lengthen the leg out, press through the heel, point through the toe, lift that leg up, flex the ankle at the top, lower that leg down, pull it all the way in. Now, if you've forgotten about the other leg, can we anchor it down? Can we keep that leg connected? Other leg, knee goes out, we're sliding long, push through the heel, we point through the toe, we lift that leg up, flex at the ankle, lower that leg down, pull it all the way in. Knee goes out, slide it long, press through the heel, pull it, point the toe, lift the leg, flex the ankle, lower the leg, pull it in. Last one, knee goes out, we go long, press through the heel, we point through the toe, we lift, flex the ankle at the top, we lower that leg down, we pull it all the way in, and then if knees into the chest feels like a nice thing for your lower back, bring the knees in, have a release. Now from here, we're going to gently roll over onto our side. So bring the feet down, roll onto your side. Now your bottom leg, I want your knee in line with the hip. And we have the knee, the hip, the shoulder, the ear. And the top leg's going to be lengthened out. And your top hand's just going to be rested on the floor in front of you. Let your toe touch down onto the floor to start with. Oh, I'm just going to need to shuffle back a bit. So inside lying, always check that your rib cage is not just resting into the floor. Draw the tummy muscles in so you've got spine sitting parallel to the floor. Top leg, we're going to tap the foot in front and then tap the foot back. So try and get the movement coming from the hip joint, coming forward, coming back, rather than the whole body swaying back and forward and moving as one unit. Trying to get a stretch through the hip. So if you're really tight in at the front of your hip, you might not be able to take the leg back very far without compromising the lower back. So we want to keep the lower back nice and long. So the pelvis is not tilting forward and back. Just moving in the range that feels okay. As you're doing this forward and back, also check in with the ribs that you're not pushing the ribs forward. So we want to keep them tucked in. Forward and back with the leg. Now we're going to add the arm in. So the next time the leg goes back, let's take this top arm and reach it forward, but let the shoulder roll forward. So you're getting a nice diagonal stretch across the body. And then as you're bringing it up and the leg comes forward, you're taking the arm behind. And again, let the shoulder come back. Let the chest open. And then you're bringing it up. You're reaching it forward. Bringing it up, reaching it back. Your legs just go in the opposite direction to the arms. You're getting this nice diagonal stretch into the body. One more time each way. Bringing that to the centre. From here, you're going to make your way over to the other side. And as you come over, thinking about this knee being in line with the hip. Top leg rested down. And then knee, hip, shoulder, ear, all being in line with each other. The ribs being tucked in. Hand just in front of you to help you balance to start with. And then tapping the foot forward, tapping the foot back. So again, notice what's happening at the rib cage. depending on whether you're tighter or looser on this hip flexor, will determine the range of movement that you've got here before other parts start jumping in. Just going to slide forward because I'm kicking something behind me. Just noticing where you feel tight, how much movement you have on this side. But always let the foot come down to the floor. And then we're going to add the arm in. So the next time the leg goes back, reach the arm forward. As the foot comes forward, take the leg back. Let the shoulders and the spine twist come into this movement. And then one more time in each direction. And then bringing that to the center. And from here, we're going to gently come over onto our hands and knees. Now, if being on your hands isn't okay for your wrists, you could be on your knuckles. If the sofa's close by, you could rest your upper body on the edge of the sofa. We're coming into tabletop position, and if that doesn't work for you, you can always come up to standing like we did earlier, standing closer to the wall with your forearms on the wall. Upper arm bones drawn into the shoulder socket so that the back muscles are engaged. Tucking the ribs in, thinking about a nice long spine, so chin slightly drawn in. If you're on your hands and knees, can you press your shins down towards the floor? If your ankles are really tight or the tops of the feet are really sensitive, pillow in underneath the ankles can be useful there just to take the pressure off but give you a surface to press down into. Now from here, we're going to slide one leg out. Now keep the foot in contact with the floor, point the toe. So just like when we did standing up and we were reaching through the heel, this time we're going to reach through the toe and maybe lift the foot slightly off the floor without letting the back dip, without letting the pelvis twist. And then bring that down, draw it all the way back in, switch to the other side, so lengthen the leg out, point with the toe, reach long, maybe lifting a couple of inches, bring it back down, sliding out, point the toe, maybe lifting, bringing it back down, check you're not holding your breath. Can we really keep these ribs tucked in? Now on this next one, if everything feels nice and steady on the bottom half, can we bring the opposite arm in? If you're down at the floor, turn your hands so that your thumb is leading. Reach through the fingers and then bring that back in. Slide it out. Maybe lift the leg. Reach the finger and down. Slow and controlled from one side to the other. If you brought the arms in and you feel really wobbly and like you've lost the connection to the exercise, then go back to just doing the legs only. And then one more of those to each side. When you've done the last one. If child's pose is a nice place for you to have a breather, sit the hips back. And if it's not, just put your body into whatever position feels like a nice rest and a bit of a stretch for you. From here, we're going to go in I'm going to do 2 side planks, one to each side, from the hands and knees position. So if you're using the edge of the sofa, you'll still stay in that position, you'll bring your arm on and then open out in that slightly higher position. Upper arm bones drawn into the shoulder sockets. If you're coming to your hands and knees, come here. We lift and rotate the leg out. We don't spin on the kneecap. We extend the other leg out, anchor the tripod points. We lift our arm away from the floor and then either to the ceiling or into the lower back, or reaching overhead to get more length through the waist, depending on what your shoulder's happy with. Now check that these hips haven't sagged back, so backside engaged. Keep that working. Keep the breath nice and smooth. We're going to hold this for another 2 breaths. We're going to bring the arm in and down. Bring the long leg in, lift and rotate the leg back to its start position. And then the other side, we lift and rotate the leg out. We extend through the leg. We lift the arm up. And again, choose where this arm goes. And it might be different on this side depending on what's going on for your shoulder. Check that your hips are not sagging back. Keep your breath nice and steady. And at the end of the next exhale, bring the arm down, bring the long leg in, lift and rotate your leg back to the start position. If child pose is a nice place for you to have a rest there. We are going to go into our stretches. When you're ready to, let's make your way over onto your back. So lie on your back. Slide your legs out long. Take your arms up and overhead. Reach your fingers to one side of the room, reach the toes to the other. Then press through the soles of the feet, press through the palms. We'll look for some length and then release and let go. Bend in the knees, bringing the knees in towards the chest. One hand on each shin. And then rocking the weight from one side of the pelvis to the other. Separate the shoulder blades, using the weight of your body to massage the back. Place one hand on each knee and circle the knees around, just targeting into that lower back. Maybe changing direction. Let's keep one knee in, bring the other foot to the floor, slide the hands into the back of the leg, circle your ankle, and then take those ankle circles to the ceiling, straightening the leg out. At the top, we're going to point and flex the ankle. So we're getting this nice stretch through the back of the leg. And if you're not feeling a lot of stretch in the back of your leg, just rock your pelvis back into a neutral position, and that will take the back out of the stretch and let you get the stretch into the back of the leg. Sometimes lower back pain can be coming from really tight hamstrings. So if you're stretching your back and not stretching the hamstring, then your lower back's never going to release. Just point and flex a few times. And then bring your ankle into this flex position, so toes pulled back. Bend this knee, ankle onto the opposite knee, coming out to the side. Away from the floor. Holding on to that bottom leg to bring it in. Trying to keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the back of the neck nice and long. Releasing that down, switching to the other side. So bring the leg in, hug the knee in, circle the ankle. Take the ankle circles to the ceiling. At the top, point the toe, flex the ankle. Again, look for that stretch in the back of the leg. If your pelvis came out of neutral when you hug the knee in, and you rock it back to get the stretch into the hamstring. Then ankle flexed, bend this knee, ankle onto the opposite, knee comes out to the side. This might be where you stay for your stretch. You might bring that bottom foot in. So just assessing what you need on this side. And then bringing that foot down. Take the arms out wide, let the knees move to one side, turn your head to the other. Breathe into the available space, noticing how this feels through your waist, through your lower back, through your hip. Top leg might be better being a bit further back. It might be better being a bit closer over. Assess what feels nicer in your body. The hand that you're looking towards, we're bending that elbow, we're picking this hand up, we're bringing it up and over, and then either back the way you came or around the top of the head. And if that felt good, we'll do that 2 more times. So checking you're not holding the breath. And then once you've opened out wide, bringing the head and the knees through the centre, taking them to the other side. And the distance between the legs might be different on this side depending on where you're holding your tension. You breathe into the available space. And then that hand that you're looking towards, can we bend that elbow, pick that arm up, bring it over, and then either back the way you came or around the top of the head. And this side might be different, depending on what's going on in this shoulder. And again, if that feels good, let's repeat it 2 more times. And then once you've opened back out wide, and gently roll yourself over onto your sides, pushing yourself up. A little bit cat and cow. Cat and cow can be done from the hands and knees or from a seated position. Are going to hands and knees, upper arm bones drawn into the shoulder sockets. If you're seated, you're here, letting the spine move forward and back. Can you take a deep breath in at your end point, allowing that breath to stretch you from the inside? And then maybe as you're breathing out, gently move through. And any other movements that feel nice here. So maybe some shoulder rolls, maybe some hip rolls. Maybe it's going back into child's pose. That might be where you feel that the best stretch for you is. And then we're going to bring our spine into a neutral position. Walking the hands back to come onto your knees. We're going to come into our hip flexor stretch. From your kneeling position, we step 1 foot forward, tuck the tailbone under. And just look for this sense of opening at the front of the hip. The knee that's on the floor, hand to that side, is going to reach up towards the ceiling if this feels okay. And then a side lean if that feels okay. And then bring that back up. Let that arm float down, switch to the other side. Get the balance first. And then knee that's on the floor, hand to that side, can reach up. You can take a side lean. We can bring that back to the centre. Now 2 options for coming up. We can either bring the hands to either side of the front foot and step the back foot forward and roll up from here, or you can step the front foot back, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up so you're in a down dog stretch, And then either walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands, whichever feels better for you. When you've come into this forward fold position, I want you to relax the neck, relax the arms, relax the shoulders. Take a couple of breaths in here, and when you're ready to, strong through those tripod points, strong through the legs. On an exhale, pressing up, drawing the tummy muscles in, restacking the spine nice and slowly, restacking all the way. When you get to the top, take your arms up and overhead, reaching up to the ceiling. Nice deep breath in. As you're breathing out, bringing the arms down, rolling out your shoulders. And that is you done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oops.